أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألف لام را. تلك آيات الكتاب وقرآن مبين. ربما يود الذين كفروا لو كانوا مسلمين. ذرهم يأكلوا ويتمتعوا ويلههم الأمل فسوف يعلمون. وما أهلكنا من قرية إلا ولها كتاب معلوم. ما تسبق من أمة أجلها وما يستأخرون. وقالوا يا أيها الذي نزل عليه الذكر إنك لمجنون. لو ما تأتينا بالملائكة إن كنت من الصادقين. ما ننزل الملائكة إلا بالحق وما كانوا إذا منظرين. إنا نحن نزلنا الذكر وإنا له لحافظون. ولقد أرسلنا من قبلك في شيع الأولين. وما يأتيهم من نبي إلا كانوا وما يأتيهم من رسول إلا كانوا به يستهزئون. كذلك نسلكه في قلوب المجرمين. لا يؤمنون به وقد خلت سنة الأولين. ولو فتحنا عليهم بابا من السماء فظلوا فيه يعرجون لقالوا إنما سكرت أبصارنا بل نحن قوم مسحورون. ولقد جعلنا في السماء بروجا وزيناها للناظرين. وحفظناها من كل شيطان رجيم إلا من استرق السمع فأتبعه شهاب مبين. والأرض مددناها وألقينا فيها رواسي وأنبتنا فيها من كل شيء موزون. وجعلنا لكم فيها معايش ومن لستم له برازقين. وإن من شيء إلا عندنا خزائنه وما ننزله إلا بقدر معلوم. وأرسلنا الرياح لواقح فأنزلنا من السماء ماء فأسقيناكموه وما أنتم له بخازنين. وإنا لنحن نحيي ونميت ونحن الوارثون. ولقد علمنا المستقدمين منكم ولقد علمنا المستأخرين. وإن ربك هو يحشرهم إنه حكيم عليم. ولقد خلقنا الإنسان من صلصال من حمأ مسنون. والجان خلقناه من قبل من نار السموم. وإذ قال ربك للملائكة إني خالق بشرا من صلصال من حمأ مسنون فإذا سويته ونفخت فيه من روحي فقعوا له ساجدين فسجد الملائكة كلهم أجمعون إلا إبليس أبى أن يكون مع الساجدين قال يا إبليس ما لك ألا تكون مع الساجدين قال لم أكن لأسجد لبشر خلقته من صلصال من حمأ مسنون قال فاخرج منها فإنك رجيم وإن عليك اللعنة إلى يوم الدين قال رب فأنظرني إلى يوم يبعثون قال فإنك من المنظرين إلى يوم الوقت المعلوم قال رب بما أغويتني لأزينن لهم في الأرض ولأغوينهم أجمعين إلا عبادك منهم المخلصين قال هذا صراط علي مستقيم إن عبادي ليس لك عليهم سلطان إلا من اتبعك من الغاوين وإن جهنم لموعدهم أجمعين لها 7 أبواب لكل باب منهم جزء مقسوم إن المتقين في جنات وعيون ادخلوها بسلام آمنين ونزعنا ما في صدورهم من غل إخوانا على سرر متقابلين لا يمسهم فيها نصب وما هم منها بمخرجين.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Surah al-Hijr in the 14th juz. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala begins this like many other surah from the Quran with Alif Lam Ra, like Alif Lam Mim, Taha and other letters that begin the surah. They have a meaning, but their true meaning is only known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we ever have the opportunity to go into like a deep tafsir, we'll talk about some of the aqwal and the things of ulama. But what is best, as Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma mentioned, that these are those opening letters for chapters. The true meaning is only known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's a sign to us to think about the fact that we will never know everything. We should never get so filled with pride as if we know everything, because some things are only going to be known to Allah. How much would those who disbelieved wish that they had been Muslim? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about rubbama. Even though it comes with the linguistic meaning of sometimes, but it means that at that time, talking about the day of judgment. Yawm ad-Din, the day of judgment, the kafir will give up anything to have been a Muslim. And in this life they have an opportunity. Those that Allah guides, those that have that want for guidance, Allah lets them become Muslims in dunya. This is the best. Some, they're arrogant. They make fun of Islam. Nowadays some of the kuffar, to make a hujjah upon themselves, they get the word kafir or infidel tattooed on themselves or written on their trucks or so on. But that day in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they would give anything. They would do anything to be able to be Muslims. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordained to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, leave them to eat and enjoy, and let them be preoccupied with their false hopes. They will come to know. No doubt that there will be a time when they will come to know the truth. They can deny it their whole life, but death will come to them. Malik al-Maut will come to them. They will enter a grave, whatever sort of grave they may have. They will be raised on the Day of Judgment. So they will come to know. And never did we destroy a town, but there was a known decree for it. No nation can advance in its term nor delay it. And they say, O Muhammad, O to you, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to whom the dhikr has been sent down, verily you are insane, you're mad. First thing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that Allah never destroys a people. The adhab doesn't come except after the message has been fulfilled on them. And it's what's written in Qadr. People, whether they accept the message or not, Allah knows it already. But people have that choice. Allah doesn't force the choice on anybody. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that they cannot make it come faster or delay it. Whatever is written will happen. And then when they turn to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they would say, when the wahi would come to him, that you're just mad, you're crazy, right? Even though they saw the miracles, they saw the clear signs, they saw the moon split, they saw the Prophet ﷺ not act in a way that a crazy person acts, rather would the wahi bring forth the beautiful miracle of the Quran. But they have to make excuses. Until today you see the kuffar try to make excuses. Oh, maybe he was possessed. Oh, maybe he got the earlier writings and reformatted them. He couldn't even read or write. Ridiculous, but this is what they do. Why do you not bring angels to us if you are truthful? Again, this is the thing with kuffar. If there's a God, why doesn't an angel come from the sky and come and tell me? Why doesn't a big sign in the sky come? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we send not the angels except with the truth. What does that mean? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not in need of sending angels and making signs in the sky for you to be guided. Allah has put enough signs out there. Now the test is for you. You can't be like, imagine you go to an examination hall and you're taking the SATs or you're taking a test and you're like, why don't they just give us the answers? Well, where's the test then? Right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put the signs out there. It's your responsibility to now recognize them. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends the angels, He sends them with truth. Haqq here from the bab of tafsir, as Ibn Kathir and others have mentioned, also has the meaning of torment, punishment. Why? Because the angels are not sent at your demand. When the angels come, they bring the decree of Allah. And in that case, the disbelievers, would have no respite, and they would have no choice, they would have no way to hide, to run away from when the malaika do come with the adhab. Verily, it is we who have sent down the dhikr, and surely we will guard it. Here we see the word in English, the word we repeated. And in Arabic, there is a beautiful aspect of balagha or eloquence to this ayah. Inna has na, which points towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there is no need for the word nahnu afterwards. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts nahnu afterwards. Nazzalna, the na again, a third time. Why? For tawkeed. That the Quran is not from anybody but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is not from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is not from Abu Bakr or the Sahaba or the Qurra or anybody before. It is from none but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And nobody can protect it except Allah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the responsibility of the protection of the earlier books to insan failed. The Torah, the Psalms of David, the Injil, all of them got corrupted. But here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took the responsibility of protecting the Quran Himself, so it was protected. Indeed, we sent messengers before you amongst the different communities of old. Yani Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Anbiya, messengers, to all of the different nations before, and never came a message to them but they mocked it. Yani most of the people, they didn't believe, they made fun of it. Till today, most people are fools. There are those that Allah chooses and that have intelligence and they follow the guidance, but most people, they just mock it, they make it into a joke. Thus do we let it, yani the kufr and polytheism, enter the hearts of mujrimun. What does it mean? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't leave somebody to shirk except those that have a disease in of themselves. Because they are mujrimun, they are people who are criminals, people who have that dhulm of shirk and the inclination towards it, and Allah lets them. Allah is not going to force you into guidance. Yani, where is the test if you are forced? Allah gives you that choice. Thus do we let it enter the hearts of mujrimun. Then they would not believe in it, yani the Quran or the guidance, and already the example of the ancient, those before us have gone forth. Yani those that claim that, oh, if there was a big sign in the sky, we would believe. They're lying. Is this an excuse? If there was a big sign that said Allah in the sky, they would make some, oh, you know what? There was some chemical that got sprayed and this and that. They would make some excuse. How do we know? Because the people before us, they did the same thing. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought Ibrahim alayhi salam untouched from a fire, did the people believe? Most of them still didn't believe. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave miracle to the Prophet Jesus, Isa alayhi salam, and the baby spoke, did most of the Bnei Israel believe? No, most of them still didn't believe. So those that have that want for guidance, Allah will guide them even without these signs. But those that don't want to be guided, they will deny even such clear signs. And even if we opened them a gate from the heavens, and they were to keep on ascending thereon all day, they would surely say that our eyes have dazzled, nay, the people have bewitched. Yani Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that if we open up a big gate from the sky and a clear sign, even they would be like, no, it's some kind of trick. No, they would find some excuse. And they would surely say, and indeed we have put the big star in the heavens and we have beautified it for the beholders. Here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us many signs. And there is a lot of tafsir I'm not going to get into because of the sake of time. What is the issue? What we know is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put clear signs. The stars, the moon, the sun, the earth, so many clear signs. But people who don't want to believe, they don't believe. And we have guarded it, the near heaven, the sama of dunya, from every shaitan that is rajim. Iblees is one, shayateen are many. The followers of shaitan are many. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, we have guarded the sama. Why? Because in the sama, the orders are given to the malaika. Qadr, what will happen? Two aspects of qadr. One is what is with Allah, that never changes. One is what is orders given to the malaika, and that can change with dua. That can change with tawbah. So those orders being given out, the shayateen, they try to hear it and communicate it to those people in dunya that are in touch with them. Except him, the shaitan, the Iblees, the devil, who steals the hearing, then he is pursued by a clear flaming fire. And this is one of the aspects of what we see but don't fully comprehend. The shayateen, they are hit by what we see as shooting stars. And that has a physical dimension to it and a spiritual dimension to it. The physical, as we can see, that it's a star that to the end of its life becomes a supernova or a shooting star or whatever. That is just us looking at the physical of it, the how of it. But the why of it is explained in the Quran. And the earth we have spread out and have placed therein firm mountains and caused it to grow therein all kinds of things in due proportion. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spread out the earth. Made areas that are flat for us to farm, flat for us to build houses. Not all of the earth is rocky or curved in a way that you wouldn't be able to use. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it firm with mountains. And this is one of the miracles of the Quran, scientific miracles. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in other ayat as well has talked about the mountains being like stakes that hold the earth. At that time, they had no way to know that the mountain as it goes up also has what goes down into the earth, like a stake. There was no way for the Arabs to have known that. But this is one of the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed in the Quran to let us know that this is a book of Allah in truth. And we have provided therein means of living for you and for those whom you provide. Not that you provide that not just for you, but for those other creatures. What is the tafsir here? Those other animals that you see, that you don't see, jinn and worms in the earth and fish at the depth of the ocean. Allah made rizq for all of them. And there is not a thing but with us are the stores thereof, and we have sent it not down except in known measure. What does that mean? There is nothing on earth except that Allah has treasures of it, huge amounts of it, but Allah sent it to the earth in certain amounts. And we sent the winds fertilizing to fill the heavenly clouds with water, and to cause the rain to descend from the sky, and we give it to you to drink, and it is not you who are the owners of its treasures or stores. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends the wind, and as we know from different types of plants, that the wind takes the pollen and takes seeds, and then they go, and then the clouds move and rain comes, and Allah made this beautiful system. No doubt if somebody studies this, you would know that there is intelligent design, there is a designer. And atheists would say there is intelligent design, but there is no designer. Well, how can we have intelligent design without intelligence? How can we have something designed in such perfection without a designer? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying this is not for you, that you own this, but it is Allah who has made this. And certainly we it is who give life and cause death, and we are the inheritors. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses the word we. Here this is called jam'a li-ta'adim. This is the plural used for showing greatness. As you see in Old English as well, when a king would speak, he would say, we have decreed, even though he's speaking about himself. This is to show honor. In the Arabic language also, the most honored tense is the plural tense. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, it is only Allah who causes death. Nobody can give life or death except Allah. And Allah is the one that everything will be left to. People will live in this dunya and they will die, but everything will be left to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And indeed, we know the first generations of you who had passed away, and indeed we know the present generations of you, and all those that will come after. Allah knows the past, who were the first people and everything, every detail about them. Allah knows who's here today, and Allah knows who will be here after us. And verily your Lord will gather them together. Truly He is all wise and all knowing. And indeed we created man from a dried sounding clay of altered mud. Now there is a lot of tafsir here about how insan was created originally and how insan is created, but I'm going to skip that for the sake of time. And the jinn we created aforetime from the smokeless flame of fire. Jinn, their building block is a type of fire, not the type of fire that you light in your oven. And that doesn't mean that jinn are walking around flames, no more than we are walking around clays of mud. This is talking about building blocks and things that are past our understanding. And remember when your Lord said to the angels, I'm going to create a man. Who is this referring to? Adam alayhi salam. From dried clay of altered mud. Now, we know that different creatures adapt to their environment. And there is no doubt to that. We can observe it. But insan was created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Insan did not come from an ape or a monkey or anything else. Insan here in the Quran is clear. So when I have fashioned him, yani Adam alayhi salam, completely, and breathed into him, into Adam, the ruh, the soul, which I created for him. The insan's ruh is makhluk, it's created. Then fall you in sujood to him. The angels were made to make sujood to Adam alayhi salam out of showing a term of respect. In our ummah, in our sharia, we are not allowed to show this type of respect except to Allah. And the Prophet ﷺ clarified that. He said nobody is allowed to make sujood to another, except if it was allowed, it would be to a wife, to a husband, but it isn't. So nobody can make sujood to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ from us, from insan, from the ummah of the Prophet ﷺ, or to any saint, or to any scholar, or to a parent, or to anybody else. So the angels, they made sujood in obedience to Allah to show respect to Adam alayhi salam, all of them. Except for Iblees, except for shaitan. Now does that mean that shaitan was an angel? No, and shaitan is a jinn, as the Quran will mention. Except for Iblees, he refused to be amongst those who made sujood. Allah said, "Oh Iblees," now Iblees is the main shaitan. What is your reason for not being amongst those that made sujood? Now Iblees, he's not disrespectful of Allah. But he says, I am not of those who prostrate myself to a human being whom you created from dried clay and altered mud. Yani, a salsal, this is the building block of a human. And shaitan, he had kibr here. And he made his own ijtihad against the order of Allah. The order of Allah was make sujood. That's what you should do. But he said, no, I want to use my aql, I want to use my own intelligence. Why should I make sujood to something that is lower than me? He believed in Allah, he made sujood to Allah, but he didn't obey Allah here. Allah said, then get out from here, and verily you are rajim. Yani you are an outcast, you are cursed, you are yani somebody who's going to be kicked out. And verily the curse shall be upon you till the day of judgment. Iblees, he said, oh my Lord. And you look at Iblees, he's not being disrespectful. He's saying, oh my Lord. He's still referring to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the best terms. Rabbi. He says, give me a time until the day, yani the day of judgment. He's asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that let me allow me to show you that this creation of Adam and insan was not worthy. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have that time as a test till the day of an appointed time. Then Iblis said, oh my Lord, because you have allowed me to go astray, I shall indeed adorn the path of misguidance for them on earth, and I shall mislead them all. Because Iblis, he went astray. What is his job? What is his main concern day and night? To guide us astray, to lead us to the wrong path. Except your chosen few, yani those guided slaves amongst them, except whom Allah protects from shaitan, and that's why we ask Allah for protection. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Allah said, this is the way which will lead straight to me, yani the straight path. Certainly you shall have no authority over my slaves except those who follow you. Yani those that choose to follow shaitan, shaitan will have authority over them. Those that do not listen to shaitan and seek the path of guidance, shaitan can never overpower them. Those from the Bab of Tafsir, they are the mushrikeen and the dhullam, those oppressors, and the mujrimeen, and those fusaq and fujjar that choose to follow shaitan, then shaitan will have authority and they will be in hell with him. And surely hell is a promised place for them all. The hell has 7 gates. The nar has 7 gates. Each of those gates is a special class of sinners that are assigned to it. Truly, the muttaqun, the people who are pious, will be amongst the gardens and the water springs of paradise. It will be said to them, enter therein. And the people of taqwa, they will be told, enter the paradise, and peace and security, salam and aman, the 2 beautiful characteristics of Jannah. And we shall remove from their chests any deep feeling of bitterness, any hard feelings, anything that is a evil feeling will be taken away from them. So they will be like brothers facing each other on thrones. In Jannah, nobody will have hasad, nobody will have envy or jealousy, but people will have their own thrones and their own palaces and their own Jannah, and they will all be loving towards each other. No sense of fatigue shall touch them, nor shall they be asked to leave it. They will never become sick, they will never become tired. It will not be temporary like this dunya. They will never be taken away from this dunya, from the akhirah, like they will be taken away from the dunya. It will be forever. May Allah make us from those that enter that Jannah.